Lead change. Ward Burton up on the high side this time may get the lead from Sterling Marlin.
Boy, Sterling does not want to relinquish that lead. He is just hanging on. Two Dodges there, gang, side by side. And old Jerry Nadeau just kind of slipping along.
And we've had several drivers lead through turns 1 and 2. But official lead changes are only counted at the start-finish line, and each time, Marlin has held off the charge and beaten them back to the line.
Not this time. He's got the push. 22's got the push this time. Come on, baby.
Oh, yes, yes. Ward Burton leads that lap.
And
first time he's ever led the 500.
4. That's 4 lead changes.
Isn't that about as many as we had in the whole race last year?
I saw why Ward Burton's better than that race car the other one was highlighted. He's running faster miles per hour through the corner. About the same on the straightaway, but faster through the corner, Darrell.
I was surprised nobody picked Ward to win the Daytona 500. I know he is capable. I know that car's fast enough. It's just a matter if the strategy will work out for him or not.
Burton, his teammate, leads. The South Boston, Virginia driver, one of 3 brothers, all did a little bit of racing, and now Ward and Jeff compete in Winston Cup.
Sterling Marlin trying to get his little group together there on the high side in the 40 car.
Matt, what's wrong with Dave Blaney?
He just went down pit road, Mike. His car was silent. Dave came on the radio and said, I think it might have broken the crank. I'm not sure. It sounds like something deep in the motor.
Well, that would be the first failure among the 10 Dodges in this race.
Yeah, but they've had the least amount of problems to anybody down here the whole 10 days we've been here. So that's unfortunate for them, and I don't think it's a sign of things to come. That's probably one of those one-off deals.
His teammate, Ward Burton, leads. The soft-spoken outdoorsman, South Boston, Virginia, now loses the lead to Sterling Marlin on the high side, second-generation driver whose dad won a 125-mile qualifier here nearly 3 decades ago. Ward Burton leads Michael Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jerry Nadeau in, and Bill Elliott. Matt?
The leader is in his pit. Tommy Baldwin on the right rear. Tommy Wallace on the right front. It is a 4-tire stop. They were complaining about the car being a little tight off turn 2. They made some slight adjustments with air pressure. His last stop was 16.7. He's down and away.
Schrader in yellow 36 get a run on the high side off turn 2. Look at Ward Burton all the way down to the bottom of the back straightaway there by himself.
Moves around Steve Park's number 1, and Burton is trying to climb the ladder without any drafting help. That Dodge is strong.
Yeah, the 2 strongest cars I've seen all day has been the 40 car and the 22. And you can see the 22 has got what it takes to get to the front. And now he's got somebody to help him. That's all he needed was somebody to jump down there with him.
Now it's shuffled off into 2 big packs of cars.
Oh, man, Earnhardt just took it. He did not want to let Ward Burton by, and guess what? He didn't get by.
Schrader works the high side. Earnhardt Jr. pulls him on the low side.
Watch this Dodge get legs down that back straightaway. This is like letting a thoroughbred loose, boys. And he's got some help, and when he's got help, here he comes.
Jeff Gordon, number 24 on the bottom side, and here comes Michael Waltrip up the middle.
Hey, we hadn't talked about Uncle Mike all day, and there he is. Come on, buddy. Give me a chance to talk about you.
Getting a little bit of help from Steve Park, his teammate, but Steve goes back behind Gordon, going to the bottom side, 3 wide through the tri-oval.
They're racing like it's the last lap, and there's still 35 to go. Welcome back to Daytona.
It's the big one, gang. It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall, number 20. Jason Leffler, all torn up. The defending Cup champion, Labonte. Stewart, there's fire underneath the hood of Bobby Labonte's car. He's out. He's okay. This is the view. You see Tony Stewart moving inside his car. Steve Park's car demolished. And Stewart's car
really
flew and then had a car land on it.
In front of his car, the roll cage is down on him, I tell you, and that doesn't look good. They're running in with the safety crew. There's Robby Gordon, and I'm not so sure that car there didn't have something to do with the start of it. It looked like a yellow car got against the outside wall to me.
Ward Burton, perhaps the fastest car here, torn up. Robby Gordon, damage to Jeff Burton, Kenny Wallace as well. They have made it back to pit road.
Dale Jarrett, here he comes down pit road, tore all the pieces.
I think we could tell it, say it easier. I only see about 7 or 8 cars out there that does not have damage.
Steve Park pounding the roof of his car in frustration. And Jarrett, for the second time in 3 years, is caught up in a melee.
Here's Mark
Martin, all torn up. Let's see what happens coming off turn 2.
It happened up here. I think that this car right here, man, and look at, is that Stewart's car?
That's Stewart's car. Rode right across the top of Robby Gordon's car, the 4 car.
And I think
everybody
back up and look at it again. I think that the 4 and the 20 may have been that started that.
Stewart was the first car sideways. Here's see why.
Here's the 4 got into the back of Ward Burton, I believe.
And then Burton's 22 got into Stewart. And everybody scrambles.
That car is taking a whale of a ride, that 20 car is. It's getting hit. It's upside down. It's hit on its roof. It's on fire.
And here's another angle.
Coming off of turn 2 where we've said that it's the wind. Somebody got into the back of that car right there.
That's Ward Burton right there.
Saw a puff of tire smoke, and then everything let loose.
I think that's what started. Somebody got it back of Ward Burton off turn 2.
I'm pretty sure the 4 car got into the back of Ward Burton, turned him into the 20 car, and God help all of them because there's no place to go. And you can't see. Now here we come off of turn 2 again. Right there. See, Ward Burton got pushed around by that car, and that's the 4 car.
And he got in the back of Tony Stewart. Of course, Tony Stewart won airborne here.
And it was Ward Burton's car being sideways that blocked up the track for everybody behind him.
Boy, and it gets hit by every car in the field, seems like, and Tony Stewart's car just took a whale of a ride. That must be at least 30 cars in that wreck.
From Tony Stewart's onboard camera.
That is something a driver never wants to hear.
4 tires, I made it through. I flapped out the tire. I made it through. 10-4, bud. We'll put 4 on it.
Here's one more angle from Mark Martin, whose car is now all torn up.
It's the outside wall real hard.
Gets hit again, and takes out.
And Tony Stewart goes for one of the wildest rides in recent memory at Daytona.
Kind of looks like the Richard Petty crash here, back when Richard crashed off turn 4 down here, standing on the snow.
Look, he's got Bobby Labonte's hood. It was hooked to the back of his car as he was in midair.
Both Gibbs's cars rolling to a halt there.
Well, the good news from the pileup is that Ward Burton, you're standing here with me and you're feeling okay. Would that be a true assessment? Physically, obviously not mentally.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just disappointed.
Can you take us through what happened out there? I walked over here and you kept saying, did the 4 car hit me? I know you haven't seen the replay, but from what you can remember.
You know, we all get runs on each other with the aero package out there. You know, we bunch, hit big holes, and I had a big run on the guys in front of me, but I was going to stay in line. And I guess from what I'm being told, the 4 car hit me. Somebody just hit me and didn't use a hit enough. You know, the problem is with this racing, the closer we get to the start-finish line, the end of the race, the wilder it gets. And I just feel bad for my team. It gave me a hell of a race car, and we were going to have a shot at it. But now we're sitting in the garage and not out there running. But for the guys that got hurt, especially Tony, I hope Tony's okay.
Yeah, we are told that he's doing okay. They just took him away for precautionary measures, and you're sitting here with 17 other cars. Take care.
Ward Burton had a great chance to win the 500. Now, on this next replay, watch 3 cars. Here they're glared. Now, this is Tony Stewart down here. This is Robby Gordon, but watch this car. This is Ward Burton.
And what happened was Tony Stewart got into Ward Burton, and he got Ward loose, and you can't correct it right there without losing the back end. It comes around, and he just...
Here's another look at it.
Here Robby Gordon gets into the back of Ward right there, gets him wobbling, and then around he goes, and he turns into Tony Stewart, who was right on the inside of him, and that's what started the whole thing.
3-car incident turned into a 17-car pileup.
Coming off of turn 2 over there, the wind blowing the way it is, you have to get up out of the throttle. You get a run on a guy underneath of your car pushes up. A lot of things can happen to you right there.